The 2022 title is in his sights, and Charles Leclerc is doing everything he possibly can to win the championship and the 2022 title to score his first win. But it seems like the odds are stacked against him as Ferrari continues to face disastrous issues with their power units. Winning the championship is certainly not easy. Ferrari, which used to hog all the championships in all its glory days, now just stays behind and hopes that someone else fails. But sadly for them and Leclerc, all the failures in the races seem to be coming from the Ferrari itself. Just last month in Baku, Azerbaijan, Ferrari was dealt a disastrous blow when both their cars ended up failing in the race. And for the first time in 2 years since the race in Monaco, Ferrari suffered a double DNF, which meant that they didn't score in the race in Baku. And to add salt to their wounds, Red Bull finished with a strong 1-2 position, which meant that Red Bull was maxing out all their points and closer to their victory. Although Leclerc was as kind as always when talking to reporters, he had nothing to say about his team and stated that a DNF is hard, but this was the third DNF in a row, which means that this is the third disappointment in a row. Carlos Sainz was the first to throw in the white flag with his car facing a hydraulic issue earlier in the race at lap 9, and then Leclerc followed suit at lap 20 when the white smoke appeared from his car and led to the total shutdown of his car. However, this was not all, since Alfa Romeo, who also used Ferrari engines, also suffered fatal issues and was not able to finish the race. Let's just say that Leclerc was furious after this event, since after all he had been eyeing the maiden championship for a while now, and the untouchable Leclerc, after the last few disastrous races, had fallen hard and was dropped to P3, letting Perez take the position of P2, which just brought down Leclerc's chance of winning his maiden championship even lower. Ferrari later stated that these reliability issues are concerning, and this is definitely something they will look into, and that not all the issues are the same, and they hope that there'll be an easy fix for all of these issues. But it's also important to analyze what happened at the races to make sure this doesn't happen again, stated Ferrari. Leclerc was ahead in the race after the swing at Melbourne. He was leading with 34 points, that was the last win he had, and that was back in April. An aggressive move by the Red Bull team means that they're now in the lead and have managed to claw back the points, which means that Ferrari now has to play catch-up to win the championship, something Leclerc is desperately fighting for. Leclerc still remains as optimistic as ever, and when asked about it before the British Grand Prix, his reply was that he was sure he would win the championship with Ferrari. He also stated that they were not in the best of positions, thanks to the previous few races, but both he and the team are pushing everything to the limit, since in the end, this is what it takes to win the championship. Ferrari, however, seems to have a different agenda on its mind, and when asked about it, they replied that they want to get back to being the leaders, and they're showing fierce competition to win as many races as they can to get as many points as they can. They also stressed that more than winning the championship, they're focused on being more aggressive and more competitive than before. And just because they're competitive doesn't mean they will be winning the season, which spells trouble for Leclerc, since it takes the joint decision of both the drivers and the team to make sure they win their championship, and with Ferrari not seeming to mind if they do not win the season, it looks like Leclerc may not get this maiden championship this year. But none of that seems to have stopped Leclerc from dreaming, as in the recent interview, he stated that he's pretty sure that the team will push 100%. Everyone will push 100%, and that everyone is extremely motivated to have cleaner and better races to claw back the points they lost in the last few races due to the cars malfunctioning. He also stated that it has been a tough tie for everyone, and that he also believed that Ferrari will bring back its A-game to win the championship. As Ferrari itself stated, they're coming back with fierce competition, and for the first time in years, Ferrari is actually building up to be a formidable opponent who has its eyes on the championship title and also the constructors' title as well. Leclerc also believed that the team has worked extremely well since the start of the season, and everyone is motivated to bring back the championship to Ferrari. He also stated that the reliability of the Ferraris has become an issue and that it's something that needs to be worked on as the races are going to get tougher and tougher towards the end of the season. He believes that his team will pull through all of this and give them the shot they need to take the championship. The goal is to ultimately win the championship, and both the drivers and the team are fully prepared to take this head-on to secure the title. Leclerc also further added that he has the car and the team which can help him secure his first ever title, and that it'll take time and leave it to his team to fix their reliability issues, and that now it's the time to just focus on everyone's own duty and race towards the checkered flag. He remains confident in the cards because After all, they're Ferraris, and they have a long history since the start of motorsports to be capable of building race machines like no other, and that the aggressive competition that Ferrari has pulled through is excellent, and that they continue to be aggressive through this championship. Even though they have failed in the last few races, Leclerc strongly believed in his car and his own skills to see the team through to get the championship, and he also added that he's just as optimistic as he was before all the catastrophic failures in the previous races that made him lose his points, and he still believes that there's still a chance that both he and the Ferrari team can make it to the top and win the championship. He went on to say that it has been more difficult in the last 4 to 5 races, but there's still a chance to win this, and that is a risk that they must take and push on to their ultimate victory. He says that it's not impossible, and even though it has gotten even tougher thanks to the last few races, anything is possible, and even the championship for 2022 is possible if they keep up a good and aggressive pace in the next races. All hopes are not lost for him as the next 4 races, which of them are equally important for him to close the gap between the leaders. The next few races, a back-to-back in Silverstone, then one in Austria followed by France and Hungary, will be a tight-knit race between the leader of the pack, Red Bull driver Verstappen, and then in second place Sergio Perez. Perez was only able to get into P2 thanks to the faults that devolved in Ferrari's engines in the race in Baku. Leclerc is now 49 points behind the leader Verstappen, and he believes that the next 4 races are very important in closing the gap between him in P3 and Verstappen in P1. Leclerc has no intention of letting this championship slip by. After these 4 races, they'll be going to the holidays or a break, and all eyes are on Leclerc. As last year at Silverstone, there was a tense rivalry between both Leclerc and Hamilton, and Leclerc was able to come in second, which is quite impressive considering that he did give a tough time to multiple championship holder Hamilton and had Mercedes on his heels. Leclerc and Ferrari are all set to show exactly what they can do in Silverstone, and this time, hopefully to finish first and get close to that championship, which is ultimately the goal of everyone involved in the race. Despite this, Leclerc has remained as calm as ever, and he just seems positive and ready to win, which is an attitude we all admire in him. He also stated that all they can do for the time being is focus on what everyone has to do and make sure the weekend races go as smoothly as possible so that the results which follow will show their hard work and dedication to be back in the front. What do you think about Leclerc and Ferrari? Will Ferrari be able to bring their best and ensure they will win this championship? We would love to hear your thoughts on this. I personally wish and want Ferrari to win. What about you? Which team do you all support? Let us know about it, and we hope to see a heated race as 3 drivers race for the top position to win the championship.